Hi, today I'm going to show how we can avoid sending sensitive information to AI systems. There are four flows primarily I'm trying to address. First one is user is sending a prompt to LLM and that can have sensitive information, so we can put a LLM shield in between, and that can filter the sensitive information like credit card numbers, SSNs, email IDs from the incoming payload. And the fourth flow here is the return flow from the LLM. So once the query reaches LLM, it responds, and the raw response goes through LLM Shield, and then user receives the safe response. So this is the incoming flow for LLM. Fourth one is the outgoing flow for LLM. And flow 2 is basically training data. We can send uh, uh, text files to LLM for training the models, and before model training happens, we can basically apply LLM Shield in between to remove the sensitive information from it. And another flow is the data that is going into the vector database can also be filtered with help of LLM Shield. Today I'm going to demonstrate flow 1 and 4. Basically data going into LLM and that is coming out of LLM can be filtered from sensitive information. Now even in that there are two patterns that we can follow. Uh, First flow is the client web app is making a call to LLM API. So this is the direct flow. Here we are providing some wrappers for the client libraries, LLM client libraries, and then you developer should use that, and which will in turn call LLM Shield first, and once the sanitized data is returned back, that will automatically call the LLM API internally. So this is the first flow, first pattern, and this is the second pattern where uh, developer doesn't need to do anything, especially for making LLM Shield call to sanitize their data. They just directly call the API gateway. Usually every enterprise would have it to make any API calls. Through API gateway, the calls usually go to LLM API directly. Here we are intercepting those calls to route those calls to the LLM Shield, and then the sanitized information is sent back from LLM Shield to API gateway, and API gateway forwards them to LLM API and then returns the response. So this is the second flow. I'm going to demonstrate both the flows today. Let me start the application. So these are bunch of containers that will help us. These demo apps, front end, Java backend, and Python backend. These are there for showcasing how the user send the data back to LLM. And this is NGINX proxy that I'm using, which is API gateway that I told you about. The pattern 2 I have shown earlier. LLM Shield service is the core API, which does all the cleaning part. Others are mostly the supporting services for monitoring. Let me go here. Now the service started, right? This is the UI through which we can clients can basically send data to the LLM for the responses. We can type anything, but I've prepared some ready-made templates, so let me use them. This is the message we are sending to LLM to asking to rephrase some statement, and here this email ID is the sensitive information in it, and I'm choosing Java client library in the backend to call LLMs. That library is wrapped with this LLM Shield supporting calls. So let me send that and see. Here there is an option to select any of the LLMs that we are supporting. Now we are going with DeepSeek. We can also choose Claude and OpenAI. If you see, the response that we got contains redacted information. So it did the work. LLM gave the response with the redacted information. So this is the actual response from LLM. In case if you don't want to, if you wanted to see the direct response to LLM, what direct payload that is sent to LLM, I can disable LLM here. That will simply send the request back to me without forwarding it to LLM. So if you see, this is the redacted, this is the request that we are sending to LLM with redacted information in it. Similarly, I can select the one for Python and client library. I'm using Python client library in the backend to call the LLM Shield and then sanitizing the data. Then that is forwarded to the LLM. Yeah, now you can see the sensitive information is redacted in this. Now let me select the another pattern, which is whenever client is making a call to LLM or at the API gateway level, in this case NGINX, we are intercepting the calls. That is this pattern. Here we are intercepting the calls. So now I have selected API gateway. I can select Claude here. Got the response. When I select client library, Java, I can also do streaming. Usually LLMs provide server-side streaming support also. So I selected streaming. Let me select a message and trigger it. Instead of making a REST call, it is making a streaming call. I have to debug this. Now let me show the monitoring and tracing part of it. In the backend, we made two separate calls, right? From Java and from Python. From Java, let's see what calls were made. Excuse me. So you can see that the LLM call is made from the Java client library, and it took approximately 43 milliseconds for the first call, and after that it made a call to the LLM and it took approximately 3.5+ seconds, and then this is the second call, that is when the response is coming back from the LLM, that is also filtered. So that took approximately 33 milliseconds to clean up or identify the sensitive information in it. And let me go to the dashboard in Grafana. There are two dashboards. LLM Shield service dashboard contains all the calls that we made so far. There are 36 calls we made so far, and sanitization request rate, and then API response times. Yeah, this is dashboard we are showing, where we can track all the metrics.